We've had some big news from the FPL headquarters once again, as today we got this season's first price reveals and we also got some interesting positional changes. Let's have a look. So we got one goalkeeper, one defender, one midfielder and one forward as well, and on the screen we can see the defender and the goalkeeper. Ait-Nouri is priced at 6 million. I think that this probably is a good price for Ait-Nouri. Know that he can contribute both with clean sheets and attacking returns as well. So if he was priced at 5.5, I think that he probably would have been heavily selected before game week 1. So 6 million for Ait-Nouri sounds good. Pickford at 5.5. On the other hand, I think that Pickford probably is a bit too expensive. Pickford at 5 would probably make more sense, but we know that with the new point scoring system and the defensive contributions, I think that some of the defenders from Everton will be quite popular. So Pickford at 5.5, I think that he, as mentioned, probably is a bit too expensive. He could potentially have been 5 million, but let's wait and see. It's too early to tell because we have to know all of the goalkeeper prices before making a verdict on Pickford's price, but my first thought is that 5.5 is a bit expensive. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next out, two really interesting FPL options in the 25-26 season. Alexander Isak 10.5 and Wirtz at 8.5. Starting with Alexander Isak 10.5, it was kind of expected that Alexander Isak would get a solid price rise ahead of this season. Did really well last year. He's nailed on for Newcastle, a really good team, and he is on penalties as well. So 10.5 is probably a good price for Alexander Isak, but of course same goes for Alexander Isak as with Pickford. We need to see the other prices before making a verdict. When it comes to Wirtz, my initial thought is that 8.5 probably is a bit low. I can see that he has a huge ownership heading into game week 1, especially for those who watch the Bundesliga and those who remember this player from the Euros last season. He is really good, and I will take a look at his stats in a minute. So 8.5 Wirtz, potentially a bit underpriced, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comment about Wirtz's price as well. But let's take a look at his 24-25 stats. So from the price reveals we've had so far, those three are definitely the most interesting players: Ait-Nouri, Wirtz and Alexander Isak. Ait-Nouri 6 million, really good stats from the 24-25 season. As we can see, he played 44 games, had 5 goals and 8 assists. So this is a really attacking player. So if he will be utilized as we see with Matheus Nunes on the right hand side for Man City, I think that Ait-Nouri can become a really good fantasy option. But of course we know they have Guardiola. Will he play center back? And if Ait-Nouri takes that left back position, I think that he can become a really good FPL option. Really good fixtures for Man City as well, playing against Wolves. They have Spurs at home before they play against Brighton. So potentially a couple of clean sheets in there as well for Man City. So if Ait-Nouri looks to be nailed on, I think that he potentially can be a good asset for game week 1. Next out is Wirtz, as mentioned, really good stats from the 24-25 season. Played 44 games, 31 goal contributions, 16 goals, 15 assists, and he has done this for a couple of seasons now in the Bundesliga. So record signing for Liverpool. I think that he will become a really good FPL asset. So 8.5 maybe a bit underpriced, but we've seen this earlier as well with newcomers to the Premier League. Some of them need time to adapt. I think this is what official FPL have had in mind when they priced him at 8.5, but of course at the same time this can potentially be a good price as well. So maybe some of the players that would like Mo Salah will go for Wirtz instead, but I can see that double up with both Mo Salah and Wirtz will be really popular in game week 1. But Liverpool, I talked about the fixtures earlier, so if you're interested in fixtures and fixture rotation, go check out my other videos on this subject. I made a video with the top 5 teams for fixtures and the bottom 5 with the hardest fixtures as well, so go check that video out. It's linked down in the description. So as mentioned, kind of tough opening fixtures for Liverpool. Good game in game week 1 at home against Bournemouth, but then they play against Newcastle away, and then they have Arsenal in game week 3. But of course, their attacking assets will probably get points in all of those games, but I don't really see Liverpool keeping clean sheets against Newcastle and Arsenal in game week 2 and game week 3. Last on this list is Alexander Isak. As mentioned, 10.5. I think that this is good value and kind of expected pricing from official FPL when it comes to Alexander Isak. But when it comes to fixtures, same goes for Newcastle as with Liverpool. Tough opening fixtures for Newcastle. They start away against Aston Villa, then they have Liverpool in game week 2, but in game week 3 they have a really good game against Leeds. So potentially we can wait a couple of game weeks before bringing in Newcastle players, but of course, Alexander Isak can easily score against Aston Villa and Liverpool as well. We saw this last season. Alexander Isak, he was yellow flagged and Newcastle had some tough fixtures coming up. He got a lot of sales that game week, but he totally smashed it in the next couple of game weeks. So Alexander Isak kind of fixture proof. So if he's in form, we should probably consider having him in our teams. Really good season last year, 25-26 season. He played 42 games, 27 goals and 6 assists. If he can replicate this, he will be good value at 10.5. So in addition to the price reveals, we also had some position changes. I think that this is really interesting to see before every season, and we had some interesting changes this season as well. Cunha, he was classified as a forward playing for Wolves, but after his move to Man United, he will be classified as a midfielder next season. We know that this means that he will pick up a point for clean sheet, and he will also get additional points if he scores a goal. So, of course, for Cunha, it's a really good thing that he is classified as a midfielder rather than a forward. Same goes for Gakpo. He was classified as a forward last season, but he played most of the games out left, so he will be a midfielder next season. On the other hand, and I'm kind of disappointed about this change, to be honest, Jarrod Bowen, he was classified as a midfielder last season, but in the 25-26 season he will be a forward. So he will not get as much points as he got last season. I really like Jarrod Bowen as an FPL option, and West Ham, they have really good fixtures as well, and he is potentially on penalties for West Ham. So I'm not saying that he is a no-go. He can become a really good option, but definitely think that Jarrod Bowen lost some of his appeal being classified as a forward. Last on this list is Lewis Kelly. He was classified as a midfielder, but luckily he will be a defender next season, so he will pick up the clean sheet points as well. So Lewis Kelly will be really interesting to see his price. He played a lot in the second half of the season. Really good player. Looked to be nailed on for Arsenal, so it will be interesting to see if he can become a good FPL option next season. We've had some other interesting changes as well. So you can see Ilman Ndiaye for Everton. He was classified as a forward, but next season he will be a midfielder. I think that this is a really good change because he didn't really play as their number 9. He was more of a 10, and he is on set pieces, including penalties for Everton as well. So I think that he potentially can become a good asset. Of course, we need to see the pricing first, but if Everton have some good fixtures coming up, he can potentially be a good option. We have Sessegnon as well. He was classified as a defender, but next season he will be a midfielder. Not a good positional change for Sessegnon. He will most probably be less interesting as an FPL option. We have Marmoush as well. He was a forward and he will be a midfielder next season. We know that Haaland will play as their number 9 and Marmoush will play out left. So I think that this makes sense to have Marmoush as a midfielder. I think that he potentially can be a good asset as well. We have other options from City on this list. 2 players started as midfielders last season but is now classified as defenders, both Nico O'Reilly and Matheus Nunes. So I think that potentially there will be a lot of interesting picks from the Man City defense. Problem is that we cannot be sure who will start, and we know that there will be a lot of rotation, but if there are some injuries in the Man City defense, and if we know that one of the players will play a lot, then they potentially can be really good options for FPL. I talked about Cunha, Bowen. Cunha, good change. Bowen, not that much, but let me know in the comments what you think about those position changes. And also, if you're interested, please subscribe to this channel. When we have more price reveals, I will make another video with the latest updates.